opposition are trying to be confused because they say that if in the country they are upholding those norms, the value of norms, why then they are still concerning that these people are going to access those kind of immoral internet contents at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. And we think that what the government should do is to maintain that these norms still being upheld until at the end of the day, even there is something that could change the stabilization within the country itself. Several rebuttals toward opening opposition side of the house. The first one, they try to say that internet censorship will protect those values within the country itself. Even if you try to restrict those internet content, we think that if they want to find those immoral content, we think that there is still the way to access them. See on how there are still illegal CD being sent to Indonesia. We think that if they want to access, if they want to see it, they will do a huge effort to finally having it. What we need to do is that how these norms are still being upheld until at the end of the day. How government will convince themselves that this behavior will not be changed if they see those kind of immoral content, ladies and gentlemen. Second point of rebuttal, they say that they want to say that they would follow the majority interest. But we think that not all the majority interest should be followed by the government, ladies and gentlemen. See on how if there is people who have no religion in Indonesia, where they want to see that hate speech in the United States against a form of religion itself. We think that you are going to limit themselves to access their ideology, ladies and gentlemen. And we think that you are already violating the right of your people to finally limiting them to see a content which they love. Third point of rebuttal, they say that it is somehow distract the stability within the country itself, ladies and gentlemen. And we think that it won't distract the stability itself because we think that the government are institution with as a country which has the power to maintain a norm within the society itself, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm going to give a justification why government should stop all forms of internet censorship itself. I believe that all kind of information should be freely accessed to everyone within the country because we don't see any harm that could influence to the behavior and life of the society. At the very first time, I'm going to explain what is the motive of Indonesian government to create rigorous policy to strict any kind of internet content because they concern on worried that those internet content would be able to degrade the norms that being upheld by Indonesia. We think that Indonesia is keen onto the norms while good behavior will be able to trigger you to be good. This is what Indonesian frightened at the very first time on how they don't want their citizens will against their government, for example, by seeing those ISIS video. We think that the government do not worry that much because when they are going to go to Syria, for example, they will be asked what is the purpose of you to go to Syria, ladies and gentlemen. And we think that it is not automatically will be able to change the perspective of people itself, ladies and gentlemen. And how to deal with these problems? Firstly, we think that those children having those education since 4 years old, they go to kindergarten field. While there, they will be acknowledged that your moral has to be good in order to be accepted in the society. Then you are going to elementary school where teacher would shape you to be good. Also in the elementary school will provide you those religious subject or even citizenship subject that change your perspective within yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Take an example, if people are keen onto the hate speech in United States, and where Indonesia hate, where Indonesia hate those immoral actions, because it only violates the norm that had been upheld in Indonesia. And if there is teenager access those kind of hate speech, that doesn't mean that they are automatically against their government, because they see that the norm has teach you to appreciate another state, for example, to appreciate the right of people to live in this country.
How if when someone saying hate speech, it will provoke them to hate other people and somehow negative content will imitate by them?
Ladies and